Did you deliberately decide to go? Because obviously people will be coming along. They know who you are. They know that your mum was Dorothy. Yeah. Did you think, right, I'm going to completely remove myself from this and I'm going to be the Wicked Witch, so there?
No, I have wonderful producers who called me and said, would you like to do this? And I've stayed away from this show for a very, very long time. And then I thought, well, you know something? Manchester's a great city. It's Christmas. Why not? It's a hoot. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's a great, I've never played, as you call it over here, a baddie. Yeah. I've never done that. So why not?
And also, you were doing
generation Oz,
we saw that clip there. You were doing almost X Factor style auditions to find Dorothy. And last night you made your decision, didn't you?
We did. Lovely, lovely, lovely girl. And she's 16.
Wow.
Yeah, because I really, you know, I've seen productions where, you know, the Dorothys are a hair old. And it just doesn't work, you know?
What was different about this young girl, though?
Well, she just had an innocence. And that's the most important thing about the character of Dorothy, that there is a believability and an honesty. And because my mom was 15 and finished the movie when she was 16. So this girl was 16 years old, and I thought, how wonderful that we've picked a girl who had that wide-eyed innocent, because she hasn't done anything too much.
She's not a stage school girl, so to speak. She's just a normal girl.
Well, she's a talented girl, okay? But she, I mean, she's not, yeah, let's do this. You know, she's not, she hasn't gone there yet, you know, which is really, I think that's what the audience wants to see, is the Dorothy of her youth and her honesty and her voice. And her vulnerability.
And what are you going to stay absolutely true to the film, or are you putting a modern twist on it at all?
No, you can't do that. You have to be a purist with The Wizard of Oz, you really do. You also, the book, it was so wonderful, and it was so unique in its time and all of that, and that's what they took, of course, the movie from. And I think that you cannot stray from that. You really can't, because then it becomes a cartoon. And I think I would never do that. I just wouldn't.
And you've met Margaret Hamilton, who played the original Wicked Witch of the West.
She was lovely. She was a wonderful, sweet, lovely lady. In America, she did a series of commercials after she was the Wicked Witch for Maxwell House Coffee, right? So she became this sort of iconic woman from television. And when I met her, everybody would say, oh my goodness, that's the lady from the commercials. And I would say, that's also the Wicked Witch of the West. And she was so lovely. And interestingly enough, she was a kindergarten teacher before she became an actor.
Wow. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Sit down.
Well, no, but she wasn't like that. She was so sweet. And my mother said to me, the hardest thing about making the movie was being afraid of Margaret Hamilton. Because she was such a lovely, wonderful lady. And she used to try to have tea with my mom, and her green makeup had fallen in the tea, and they'd laugh.
Now listen, is your man here with you?
No, he is at home in Los Angeles because we're moving out of L.A. He's looking for houses. Yes.
Where are you moving to?
Palm Springs.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely there.
You like that?
I've got friends.
Little warm.
It's hot though.
Very.
Ooh, no.
Love that.
Look,
yes.
He's younger than you, isn't he?
Yes.
So, you know, did you have to give him any, you know,
no.
tuition? No.
No.
Really?
No. You know, we have all, you know something, here's what I think about all of that subject, okay? I don't understand why it's such a double standard, meaning that everybody talks about this subject, but if a older, and I mean in Los Angeles, older guy comes along with what we call a Twinkie wife,
exactly, yeah.
Nobody says anything.
No.
Nobody says anything. So what's the double standard? Why is it such a big thing
well,
if an older...
It's not a big deal to me.
Me neither. I don't get it. No. I don't get it.
She's not bothered. Old, young, fat.
Not bothered.
I mean, I do believe, though, that if it's really young, then it gets the ick factor.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Then it gets icky.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, yeah. And I have a 24-year-old son.
Young and
does he
fresh
boss
is
you
fine.
about? Does he boss you about, or do you boss him about? Who's in charge in your house?
I let him think he's in charge.
Right.
Quite right. Right, ladies? Right?
Quite right.
I think I do. I let him think. I think that. But also, I think we've also confused men. I really do, because we say we want, okay, which I think is great, but then we say we want our doors open.
Yeah.
And we want this, that, and the other. And so I think we've confused them. I want my doors open. I want my luggage taken out of cars and things like that. I want all of that. But yes, and I do, I want equal pay.
Yes.
All right, when it comes to doing...
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So do we.
Right? Yes.
Lorna,
Yes.
the Wizard of Oz is going to be on the Lowry Theatre,
Yes.
which we mentioned. If you want to go along, it's on the 29th of November, right the way through to the 4th of January. Lorna,
I'm the green one.
She's look out for her. Lorna Luft, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, time for a bit of a break. When we return, we'll be practicing our pouts. Back soon. Welcome back to Thursday's Loose Women, where on the loose with me, Andrea McLean, are Zoe Tyler, McGiffin and Jane McDonald. Still to come, we'll be rubbing shoulders with one of the true soap queens of all time, ex-Rovers royalty, Julie Goodyear is here. But before that, the beautiful Keira Knightley was out and about last night at the premiere of her new film, The Duchess. Now, apparently, she has the world's most perfect pout, according to a recent poll. Any good at pouting, Zoe? Are you pouting or just kind of thinking?
I'm actually thinking about how to pout. I'm not very good at it without laughing. Okay. hang on. What about... I feel like Les Dawson. No, I can't do it. I don't know how to pout. Somebody teach.
I can't do it.
Will you pout?
I can't do it. Look, this is my pout. You know, the thing is, with Keira Knightley, that's all she does, isn't it? She just pouts all the time.
She's got a real skill because she can pout and talk at the same time. That's quite good going.
Can you do it, Andrea?
Can I
do you
pout?
pout?
Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's hard to do without
You
laughing.
can't do it without laughing. No.
OK, we know who can do it.
We need the Queen to teach us.
Right, here we go.
Go on, then.
What you do is you lick your lips, girl.
Yeah,
say.
okay, we're licking.
And then you sort of bring them forward.
Oh, Jane McDonald.
I've got it. Right, here I go. I'm going to get
Lick the lips.
That's it. That's it.
Now, apparently, considering we can't pout without giggling... I'm just saying,
I'm never going to pull, am I?
we can't pout without giggling, but apparently Keira says, you know, when she's got to do her love scenes and all this sort of stuff, she gets a little bit giggly. And, you know, she can't quite, you know, they have to do lots of cut, all that sort of thing. That's what it's called. Are you a bit of a corpser?
I'm the biggest corpser in the world. I'm very bad at corpsing. I used to get into trouble all the time, especially my very first West End show, because you learn the ropes in Les Mis. And Les Miserables is so serious and straight, and so it's awful if somebody starts laughing. You just get really, really, really told off. But I remember when I was playing Fantine and the death scene at the end, and she comes on and she slides on, and Valjean is in the chair under a blanket dying. And as I walk past him, just before I start singing, he let rip.